Hey guys, what up? It's me, Mitch. Long-time listener, first-time caller, lifetime baller. And when I'm not going into Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, well, shit, man, I'm listening to House of Prayer and smoking a blunt. I'm still going though.
Welcome to the House of Graham. Damn vibe with a boot to the chin. Share that link with all of your friends. Slender Man and Grim gon' do it again. Welcome to the House of Graham. Damn vibe with a boot to the chin. Share that link with all of your friends. A Slender Man and Grim gon' do it again. Hard throbs in this thing and our nuts hang. Diamond cutter on a bitch through a bed frame. Bang, pedigree, time to play the game. Raise the flames of hell.
Sipping like Kurt off a perk. Suicide dive like it's 9205. It's just man got my hand up a skirt. Man up a flow, she gon' squirt. I see that bitch boobs to a shirt.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Dan Bob and Grim from the House of Grim podcast, and we have an awesome interview with weaponized Alex Weir, straight from Chaos Wrestling Organization and several other independent wrestling promotions in the state of Michigan. Alex Weir, what's going on, bro?
Nothing much. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be with you guys. You guys have been super supporters of Chaos Wrestling, so I'm glad to actually take some time and sit down with you guys and do this.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, bro. Yeah, Chaos is been like a home base for us. All you guys and girls over there, man, just really opened up to us, took us in with open arms. Um, One of our first shows coming to Chaos, we got to see you and Mark Ross, Mr. 401k, interact in the ring, and I believe it's called a Kumite match.
Yes, the Kumite, the no ropes.
Mm-hmm. And when that first was taking place, man, when I saw the ropes coming off, I was like, this is different. You know, it kind of reminded me of like the WWE Underground kind of thing.
Mhm.
And I was like, I don't know if I can really like this or not. But once you guys really started, man, you guys were laying them in. You guys were making them count. You guys put on one hell of a show, and you made me a big fan of them style matches, bro. Both you guys did.
I
So,
appreciate that. Yeah, that's a lot of people when they talk to me, they are like, "Oh yeah, my favorite match was you and Mark in the Kumite match," and it was definitely unique. Being in a match where you can't go for a pinfall is definitely
right.
uh, it's hard to like, keep in mind as you're in that match. Like, oh, I just hit this move. Like, I've got my like signature knee strike I do, and I usually go into a pin after that, and I'm like, no, I got to pop. I was like, I'm just looking to beat down. So it was definitely an interesting scenario to be in, but I'm glad I came out the winner, and I'm glad everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah, man, it was great. The whole storyline of him talking about how you stole his bicycle and
I was going to ask, did
just
you ever give that back?
There's no proof that that was his bicycle. He just happened to lose a bicycle, happened to blame it on me, and I happened to come out on a bike during that match. There's no proof that was his bike.
Dude, I popped that whole night, bro. But like I said, man, you know, I didn't ever see a match like that ever take place in my life. Um, can't even say I ever even heard of a match like that, honestly. And then when I saw you guys do it, like I said, man, I was kind of like, hmm. But you guys made me a fan, man. You guys really mixed it up, and you guys were, I mean, was real as real could get, bro. You guys were, man, bringing down the house on that one, that's for sure.
For sure.
So like, how did you guys come up with that concept for that match?
Uh, you know, Mark had because me and Mark's history goes back, forever. If you didn't know, I actually trained with Mark when I first started.
Okay.
And my second ever professional wrestling match was with Mark. Beat him, by the way. And the Kumite match was my challenge after when I invaded Chaos. I believe it was about a month or two after because when my first debut with Chaos was during the digital media tournament, right? And they were like, "Hey, we're gonna have you against Mark Ross first round." I was like, "Okay." Like, I haven't seen Mark in a bit. I'm on my little comeback tour. I know he was kind of on a comeback tour. Um, And when that match went down the way it did, you guys weren't there for that match, but there was some stuff that happened at the end, and it almost kind of gypped me out of my win. So when I came in to challenge Mark, I was like, I'm gonna put things on my terms. I'm a martial artist. Like, I'm not just a professional wrestler. I'm a martial artist. I'm a fighter. I'm gonna put things on my terms. Let's take these ropes off. Let's do knockouts or submit only in a kumite match. Give these people something they haven't seen. And as devious as it was, I really gave myself the advantage in that match. But also I wanted, coming into chaos at that time, that was kind of Mark's turf, right? He had just wrestled Thomas Bailey for the digital media belt. People were really behind him. He was definitely the hometown favorite. And so he had an edge in a regular match no matter what, right?
Right.
So I definitely had to come in with my edge. So that's where the Kumite came into play. And that's where I laid out that challenge for him.
Okay. So I speaking of martial arts and karate and stuff, man. I see you got something taking place where I believe you're going to Japan. Is it
Spain. I'm going
Spain?
to Cadiz, Spain.
Okay. What's that about, man?
Yeah, so every year the World Karate and Kickboxing Commission throws on a WKC World Tournament. You have to pass two qualifiers. You have to qualify at a regional tournament, then you have to qualify at a national tournament. And when you do that, you get selected to represent Team USA uh, over at the World Tournament. So this year, myself, and my fiance both qualified.
Awesome.
Representing Team USA this October in Cadiz, Spain. It's pretty expensive, so we're like trying to collect donations, sponsorships, all that jazz. But we're super excited. We're super excited for this opportunity. Because it's the real deal going across seas,
Right.
representing the country. We represented Team USA last year in Niagara, and that was cool, right? But it's in the US, right? There's something different about wearing your flag across seas in a different country. I've done it before, both in Malaysia when I was 18 years old, and then when I was 21, I did it again in England. But like this is this is a bigger tournament. This is a bigger circuit. So this is a bigger deal. So I'm really excited for it.
Awesome, man. I wish you the best of luck on on that. I'm sure you're gonna do just fine. That's cool that your fiance is involved with martial arts and stuff, bro. Is that kind of how you two met?
Yes, yeah, we met through martial arts.
That's cool, man. How does she feel about you being a pro wrestler?
So her brother has been a fan of professional wrestling for as long as like he's been alive. So she kind of like knew of it. But she was never really into it, but she does come to a lot of the shows. And she's starting to become a fan.
Okay.
She has some favorite wrestlers. Grim Reality is her favorite. If Grim Reality is on the card, that's her favorite match, no matter what. Whether it's Q, whether it's Riker, whether it's AOD, those are her favorites. And what's funny is at the end of the night on our drive home, she actually goes through the match card and rates each match.
Okay. That's
Uh,
pretty cool, man.
so it helps me also keep track, keep accountable of the green guys, see how they're doing, be like, hey,
Right.
if your match sucked or you're doing bad, I'm gonna call you out because somebody who knows nothing about wrestling says you suck, or they say, hey, you're doing something good. But yeah, so she's coming around, she's learning, she's starting to use the lingo with me. She's starting to understand the vocabulary a little bit more. So that's really cool to have.
Hell yeah. So when we get to chaos, man, before the show starts, we like to go out there and interact with the fans that are waiting in line. And since we've been coming and podcasting at Chaos, bro, the lines are growing. The fans are the audience is getting bigger. It's unbelievable, man. I always say Chaos the fan base kind of reminds me of like a GCW fan base in a way, because everybody's just so geeked to be there. They're happy,
Yeah.
but so a lot of times we ask the fans in line questions, and we put it on our YouTube channel. And one of the questions we always ask is who your favorite wrestler is at KS, or who you're here to see. And man, I tell you what, 99% of them fans, bro, are speaking your name. So this last chaos event we came to, I was like, after we asked everybody and they said Alex Weir, I was like, okay, even the kids, grown ups, everybody. I was like, I looked into the camera, I was like, Alex, I hope you brought your merch, man, because you're gonna get your money tonight, bro.
Oh, I ran out of shirts.
Man, it's so crazy, bro, that you're such a fan favorite, man. Like they just love you so much, bro. And I mean, I can see why you're a phenomenal athlete out there, bro. The way you perform, man, it just shows, you know what I'm saying, that you're very passionate about wrestling.
Yeah.
How'd you get involved in martial arts?
So I've been doing martial arts since I was 9 years old. Um, I was a very small kid. Like I matured slower than others, so I was very tiny, very short. I mean, I'm still short, but I was shorter. And there was just a program in my school called Kids Power. And I brought the flyer home to my parents. Me and my mom. Um, Everybody knows my mom by now. Um,
Yeah.
uh, we started. She brought me for that first class, and she was kind of they told her that parents train for free, and so that was kind of her selling. So me and my mom started in this program. Then after me and my mom went through the program, my dad came to our promotion, and me, my dad, my mom, and my sister all started. And since then, the rest is history. Obviously, we opened a karate school about 3 years after we started, and my parents have been running a karate school for
No kidding.
damn
Wow,
near
that's so awesome.
years.
What's the name of that school, man?
Blue Water Martial Arts is what it is in Port Huron.
Okay. That's pretty cool, man. I might have to take a class out there.
For sure.
So how did you get involved with chaos?
Like I said, they were trying to get me for a while. So little bit of backstory, because I don't know how much you know about my wrestling career, but I started in 2016, and then in 2022, I quit. I took a very much like I'm done. I'm not coming back. Like I needed to take it. There were some personal issues I had with wrestling, and I just needed to take a step away. And then like 2 years later, I started to get the itch again. Jeremiah hit me up to come back. So I came back, but I was like, in my head, I was like, I'm only coming back to do like, I'm going to do this story. I'm gonna wrestle Adam. And then Tommy challenged me afterwards. So I had the death match with Tommy Vendetta. And then, I kind of was just like, maybe I'll just do some stuff for XICW. And then Chaos hit me up. Danny Beals was the one who was like, hey, I really want to bring you into Chaos. Would you be willing to come in? Because I was very much like, I'm not going to work for anybody I don't want to, and I'm not going to wrestle anybody I don't want to. I didn't want to like risk getting hurt, and I also didn't want to risk like hating my life because I had to wrestle somebody I didn't want to wrestle. And he was like, if we book you against Mark Ross, would that be good? And I was like, you know what? I'll come in. I'll wrestle Mark. And I wrestled Mark and some shenanigans, and that's what got me involved in chaos. And then I think what really got me to stay was, I wrestled Mark. There were some shenanigans. I came in, I ran in on him afterwards. We had the Kumite match, and just the energy of being at a chaos crowd, like a chaos. If I could peel back the curtain a little bit, just the feeling of that crowd was different.
Right.
And not maybe it's because it was in the lore behind that building that chaos runs out of. That is where I trained. That was where my first ever wrestling match
Okay.
was in that building. So I that building has a lot of like history to me, but like to have a crowd there, you know, just like cheering and just like growing and growing. Especially after a long time ago when the old promotion used to run there, used to always bring in names and was told, "Oh, you're never going to sell a wrestling crowd without names." And watching Chaos consistently sell out crowds without bringing in names, always gave me like even when I was in it for myself, still coming out of that curtain and seeing a full crowd in that building just kind of kept me going. And once I went to the digital media championship, I was kind of locked in. And I just you just can't pull me away at this point. Like chaos became a home to me.
Right. That's so cool, man.
Speaking of the crowd, I feel like every time we go, there's more and more people. I feel like it's a good problem to have, but they're slowly outgrowing that building. Uh, where in Port Huron do you see them being able to go after they outgrow it?
As much as I would like to say McMorran, um, McMorran is cool. Seating sucks, and honestly, the acoustics are really bad. Um, the you with a wrestling venue, as funny as I say bingo hall is like, oh, you're wrestling in a bingo hall. The acoustics of a bingo hall
Mhm.
are great, right? So you want to have something small, and you don't want to have something big unless you're having like tens of thousands of people. Obviously, like we're not WWE. McMorrin is a WWE level venue, right? Because that's the
Mhm.
only you're going to need that level of people to make that loud, right?
Right.
So it's hard to say where else we could go. Um, PH, Port Huron High School, maybe like they're I don't think their like gym would actually be good. But I liked that other place we went to, Lighthouse, but that wasn't bad. But honestly, the American Legion is good. You want something just that size, because like yeah, we're outgrowing, but man, if you can get that standing room only, that's gonna be great.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see them eventually, like Grim kind of mentioned, grow to the point where they would kind of be forced to go to a different venue, but also at the same token, it's like, hurry up, get your ticket, get here, because they're gonna sell out. If you ain't here for this event, you better wait to the next one. I kind of like that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, um. I'm kind of surprised that Chaos don't run big names. I mean they don't have to, of course. You know what I mean? Um just the talent that Chaos has is big enough, man, to sell out. You know what I mean? It's just phenomenal, man.
And I'll tell you why. And this is my philosophy of being in this business for collectively 10 years plus now. Having names is good, but if you can't have names on a consistent basis, you're not going to get consistent fans,
Mhm.
Right.
especially the same names, right? People love stories. People love something that they can invest to. They don't watch Raw week after week for a wrestler. They watch Raw for the stories that they have going on. Wrestling is a storytelling. It's sports entertainment. It's storytelling, right? I wouldn't be the fan favorite, I guess, or like the liked wrestler as I am if I wasn't every time I'm in that ring. Like I'm fighting, but there's a story behind what I'm doing. Like I,
Right.
I always have a purpose of what I'm doing, right? And when you bring in the name and you rely on just the name, you're gonna get fans who come in for that one show and maybe they come to another chaos show, right? Maybe they like the fans. But when you have a solid product with no names, right? You just have independent wrestlers, you're gonna have that's why we have consistent fans who know the stories, who know the wrestlers, who fan base is growing moment by moment. And instead of names, we're bringing in better independent wrestlers, giving them exposure on IWTV, getting them exposure that they need, good reps, good footage. And that I think is more beneficial to the independent wrestling community as well as the fans too.
Right.
Um,
I mean, just the stories, the storytelling that Chaos does is awesome to me. You don't really get that too much in independent wrestling in general. You know what I mean? There's a few I feel like that does it here and there, but as far as Chaos sticking with the story, like something take place at this show, it carries over to the next show, and it keeps climbing, and that's awesome, bro. That's pretty cool. I like that.
mhm.
I like the fact that a lot of the talent there at Chaos, they take the time to cut promos, and post them on Facebook. Like,
Oh yeah.
gives me something to follow, going into it.
Yeah, if you're an independent wrestler and you're not cutting promos for every show you're on, you're doing this wrong.
Right.
But
Tommy
that's the
Tommy
thing. There's
Invincible.
a lot of them that don't do it. And
If you don't know who Tommy Invincible is, he's an independent wrestler. Like he's really popular on like Instagram. Dude, that dude just cuts promos and he cuts videos, and he's a very subpar wrestler. Like he's not great, but he's viral and he's gotten opportunities because he posts. I don't know what this is about. Like wrestlers just don't want to cut promos unless I don't know. I've always been a promo cutter. I've There's never been a show that I haven't cut a promo for unless the promoter specifically asked me not to.
Mhm.
Uh, because I want to get my words out there. And also to new fans, I want new fans to know who I am. Like, right? I want people because they're buying the ticket from an online link. So if they can see where the page is for the promotion, then they're going to see my promo if the promotion shows
Right.
on video or when I tag them. So like wrestlers who don't cut promos, it's always been lost on me why wrestlers don't do that. Like, and for me, that's like my favorite thing to do. I love cutting a promo. I love cutting a promo. I love editing. I love posting it. I love it. So I don't know why more wrestlers don't do it. I like that Everyone at Chaos does it. A lot of people more at XI are starting to do it more. I think I have something to do with that, but it's good for the business. It's good for the business.
When is
Sweet.
XI's next show?
This Saturday at the
Saturday.
Lincoln Park Community Center. It's the biggest show of the year. It's the Malcolm Monroe, it's the Sweet Daddy Malcolm Monroe and Chic Memorial Show. It's a mouthful, but it's going to be a good show. Got a lot of great matches on there. So
Graham, we might have to try and make it out there, man.
Try. I don't know.
Um,
That's what I got going on Saturday.
so there's times like where we reach out to like some wrestlers, bro, and they act like they don't want to come on, or they just like end up ghosting me, and I'm like, man, like this is, we might not have a million subscribers, but
mm,
this is another a way to, get seen. You know what I'm saying? You get us talking about you, you get us making a video about you. Hey, check out the video where we just interviewed such and such. You know what I'm saying? We're always trying to help wrestlers grow, independent wrestlers do their thing, man. And we're always trying to be respectful. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're gonna shit on anybody, you know what I'm
mm.
saying, or anything like that. So, I mean, what type of advice could you really give to wrestlers that don't really want to come on a podcast?
So couple of things. One, like the biggest thing I tell people, be a professional. We're professionals. Literally, it's in the job title. It's
Right,
professional wrestlers, right? Um, Being a professional means not just showing up and doing your job. It is all that work. Like you can't be good at your real job, right? Whatever your real job is. So, for example, I'm a personal trainer outside of wrestling, right? I can't be a good personal trainer if I'm not making calls to new members at the gym. If I'm not there on times I'm not getting paid, right? I can't just rely on just showing up and doing the bare minimum and I'm going to make money, right? I might do
right,
okay, but I'm not going to be super, I'm not going to make a six-figure paycheck, right?
right,
But if I do that extra work, then I'm going to find more success. Wrestling's the same way. There's so much extra work. It's not just about showing up, setting up the ring, and doing your match, right? It is getting your promo down, right? It is cutting a promo for the show. It is doing things like this that put your name in people's mouths, right? That like you want your name in people's mouths. Like I am as successful as I am by doing things that put my name in people's mouths, whether it is being the best striker in the world, whether it is being the best wrestler in the world, which I am, or whether it is like doing whatever I need to do, right? To get it's coming on podcasts, it's cutting promos, it is talking whenever I can, it's doing my own like little thing that I do every week, right? Where maybe people are like, why is he doing this? But I'm doing it because one, you're going to know that Alex Weir does this, and two, I'm helping to grow the business. People say that Michigan is a black hole of wrestling, right? People talk about Michigan wrestling as something bad. It is 1,000% the wrestler's fault for that. It is
right,
1,000% our duty to not to be better, and we just consistently choose not to. And it's really heartbreaking, right? So, and the second thing I'll say to wrestlers who don't want to go on podcasts, everybody who is at a position that we would dream to be at doesn't say no to podcasts. Matt Cardona goes on podcasts. Cody Rhodes goes on podcasts. Everyone's going on podcasts, man. Logan Paul has his own podcast. All right.
right,
A lot of them have their own podcasts.
Right. Like they're going on ESPN. You think they're saying no to ESPN? Like, no, like
right,
you want to be at that level, then you got to do what they do, right? People in this business say you can't be fans of the people above you because they're your peers. Then freaking act like your peers and do what they do. They cut promos, they take promo pics, they act like professionals, and they do the extra things that make them great. You want to be successful, you have to do that too. You can't just be a good in-ring worker. I'm a great in-ring worker and I do some of the extra stuff, but there's missing components that are probably the reasons I didn't get signed back in the day. And that's because I didn't do that little bit of extra work that I needed to, right? But it is doing all that extra work and being a good in-ring performer that is the way to be successful. So if you want to be successful at this and you want to make this a career, you have to do more. And I don't care about somebody's job. I don't care about if they have time. If you want it, then stop making excuses. Do more. Like do more. Like just do more.
right. Hell yeah.
As simple as that.
Dude, I can honestly say you're one of the biggest independent wrestler names in Michigan. You know what I
Well, it's
mean?
because I'm the best.
Right. Like, I mean, a lot of people know you, bro. A lot of people, like, if you, like, whenever we go to JCW or something and we talk about independent wrestling, you're one of the names that gets brought up. Dread King Logan, you know what I'm saying, is another name that gets brought up a lot. You know, people know you, man. And like you said, it's from promoting yourself, basically,
Mm.
hustling, you know what I'm saying, grinding. Um, yeah, man. I mean, we always try to, like I said, be respectful to everybody. Try to make videos. Like we try our best with our work schedule and stuff to make videos of the match cards. Like, hey, Grim, who you got in this match? You know,
Yeah,
for the
absolutely.
chaos and stuff. So we're constantly trying to help promote and just because, like, man, you guys are so awesome to us. From Robert to the newest wrestler to show up, at Chaos, man, has just been just treated us very well. For us to be able to, fly our logo, big as hell up there and have our shit set up and, to be able to record some of the matches and just to do what we're allowed to do at your guys' show. That's the least we could do. I tell Robert all the time, like, hey man, if there's anything that we could do, just let me know. You know what I'm saying? If there's anything you ever need, you know what I'm saying? We're down to have your back, bro. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? We're just trying to help.
just keep doing it, man. Just keep like posting clips of shows and stuff like that is just what's helped spreads the name, right? And that's the best thing you can do is social media is king nowadays, right? So if you're not making clips of your stuff, if you're not having good professional videos being posted, then you're not gonna make something like then you'll only stay at one level, right? So you've got to learn how to adapt with the times. Triple H said it best: you evolve or you die, and that's the stage we're in with independent wrestling. Social media is everything, and if you're not on social media, now obviously my social media is very different, but that's because if I'm being completely honest with you, I say I'm the best wrestler in Michigan. I know I am the best pound for pound, the best in ring performer in Michigan to ever come from the state. I know that. I just don't want to make it big in this. There was time like you asked me 4 years ago, I would say, yeah, that's what I'm going to be a full time. I'm going to make it big. Now I do this because I love it and I want to stick to me loving it. So that's why like my socials are a little bit different. But if I wanted to do everything extra and I wanted to make it, then you would see my social media pages would only be wrestling. It would be clips. It would be 3 to 5 clips every week of matches that I had. I'd be throwing throwback matches up there. I'd be doing all these things because that's what you need to do to make it in today's society. Look at Mason Rook, for example. Mason
Yeah.
Rook got signed because he went viral on the internet, not because he's a good in-ring performer, right? Not because he's a good at promos. He got
Right.
signed because he just went viral and they just used that clout to put him on TV.
Got viral and has a chant.
Yeah.
Right.
um. So you mentioned, giving feedback to some of the guys. Is there any younger talent that's just starting out that you've taken under your wing at KS?
I mean, I hate him, but Jack Delaney.
Jack
Uh,
Delaney?
yeah, I tell everybody that Jack Delaney's probably my favorite young like under 3 year wrestler right now.
Mhm.
Everybody knows that I'm a Jack Delaney guy. As much as like I said that I hate him. He took my belt but him and me and his match is up there in one of my favorite matches of all time. Even though I lost. But you know, he's very good. So I do watch his matches. Make to obviously make sure he loses. I try to see if he's going to lose. But I would say definitely him. And I just try to like. I'm never going to because listen, I'm the main character in my story, right?
Mhm.
At the end of the day, I live my life like I'm the main character because if you live like your side character, then you will be a side character. So I live my life like I'm the main character. So I always say that if you want advice, you got to come up to me, right? There are a couple guys that will come up to me and be like, "Hey, did you see like anything like that I need to work on?" I'll be like, "Yeah," like, and I give them critiques. Like some of these wrestlers don't think that I watch everyone's. This is again a peek behind the curtain. I watch every match from Chaos. I sit down, and when the matches are posted on YouTube, I sit down and I watch every single one, because if my name's going to be attached to a promotion and I'm going to be a person at this promotion, then everyone at this promotion better be put on 110%. And if they're mailing it in, then I'm going to call them out on it, right? If
Oh,
you're
yeah.
trying to have a better match than me on the card, then you shouldn't be on the card with me, in my opinion. And some people say that's egotistical and cockiness. No, that's how I came up. When I came up at XICW, I was told when I first went to XICW, I was told your challenge is to be the best match on the card. Do better than the person before you and do better than the person after you. And that's why XICW has been so successful, is because they live under that philosophy, right? They're not like these shows old vets go, oh, you're first, so you got to respect the rest. Forget that, right? If you are only the first match, like on every promotion you have, then why are you limiting yourself? Like, go out there and set the bar. If you're the second match, set the bar. Like, if the main talent can't do what you can do, then they, in my opinion, shouldn't be the main talent. And that's how I know I should be the main talent, because I know that there's not a person in the locker room that can do what I do. Right? It doesn't matter what locker room I'm in. I know that my caliber of talent is high. So I'm going to go out there and put on the best match no matter what. Doesn't matter the stipulation, no matter what. And I challenge people to do the same. So young people, I challenge you to have the best match. However, you got to learn how to work. Again, peeling back the curtain a little bit, you got to learn how to work it. You got to learn how to do it the right way. Because there are matches back in my day that I came back, I was like, this is the best match I've ever had. And I watch them now and I'm like, God, Alex, you're an idiot. But like,
yeah.
you got to be willing to, one, listen to the advice and really take it to heart. Like, you've got to stay humble in this bit. You got to have ego, but you got to stay humble. So, like, ego is like water. You need it to survive, but too much of it will kill you. In this business, you have to have an ego because you are your own main character, but you have to take a step back sometimes and ask for advice. There are wrestlers on the circuit right now who still ask me for advice, like Caden Monroe, comes from a dynasty of wrestling. If he knows I'm on the card, he will come up to me and ask, like, hey, did you watch this? What do you have for me? And then, I watch all his matches too. It doesn't matter what promotion he's on. I watch all his matches because I care about Caden, because I've known him since he was freaking 12 years old. And, I'll watch his matches. And like other people who you would never think would ask me for advice still ask me for advice. But like, if you don't ask me advice, then I'm not going to take my time to go out and help you. Especially if I don't like what you're putting out. Like, if I'm not a fan of what you're doing in the ring, I'm not going to go up to you. But if you come up to me and ask me, then I'm going to be blunt with you and I'm going to help you, because again, if you're bad, I'm bad. So we need to all be good. So when my fiance is going through her ratings of matches, I'm taking notes of names. I was like, okay, who needs to step up? Maybe I need to go have a talk with them, or maybe I'm just going to watch them next time. And when they're like, man, I'm not getting the reaction I want, then I'll be like, hey, this is why you're not getting the reaction you want. So that's kind of my philosophy on
constructive criticism,
and doing it in a right way, right? Because like this new generation of wrestlers is soft. I'm not gonna lie, very soft. And if any new wrestlers see this and they want to say that I'm wrong, I'm not, right. And I'm not saying, but I'm also saying that the older generation of wrestlers doesn't, like, the people before me don't really know how to critique before, right? You hear like almost horror stories of locker rooms where veterans are ripping into new guys, and it's not helpful. Like, I'm passionate and I mean from a sense of caring, right? I like, even though I don't want to get signed, right? And that was the main reason of why I stopped wrestling, was because I was trying so hard to get signed and it just didn't happen. And at one point, Matt Taven looked at me and was like, yeah, you're going to be on TV. And I was like, I cannot hear this anymore. Like, I cannot hear you're going to be on TV and then I'm not on TV. And that was like, but now to the point where, like, I don't want to be signed, but I'm here because I give a damn about this business. I love this business. I love wrestling. So when I'm like passionate, like, you got to lock in, you got to do like this. And sometimes I'm mean about it. It's not like I'm not trying to like kill somebody's spirit. And some people think that is, or some people really like just can't take the constructive criticism. Some people don't like to hear that you should go and set up rings for promotions. Doesn't matter if you're how many years in. I've been doing this 10 years and I still set up DBA's ring. I still set up DW.
We went and
Dude,
helped JCW set up theirs. I
because
have
it's
a
not about
whole
paying
new
dues.
respect for people setting up rings, dude. It
And
is it's a lot of work.
yeah, but it's not about paying dues. A lot of people think, well, I paid my. It's not about paying dues. It is showing respect to the promotion that's letting you do what you can do, right? Um, I like chaos, a little bit hard for me to get there sometimes to set up the ring, but at every exit this Saturday, I guarantee you there will be two people there setting up the ring right off the bat, and that's gonna be me and 24K. And we'll be setting up that ring because that's what I do. I set up rings still. And this new generation of like not wanting to set up rings and expecting everything to come to them without putting in that work, it's just not gonna happen.
right? It's crazy. Um, so I got a question to ask you about Chaos, man, and about Mark Ross. Uh, how do you feel about the new ownership with Mark Ross and Chaos?
It caught me off guard. I was dealing with another situation when all that was going on. Um, I had to like go back and see what happened. I saw Mark Ross is purchased. It's gonna be interesting seeing a wrestling promotion purchased by a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just wonder if he's gonna be wrestling as much. I saved him from that beatdown for a reason. I didn't know that reason was that he was gonna buy chaos. Um, I think it's still too soon to make assumptions. We've got they've got a couple of fest shows coming up. They've got August 22nd coming up, Wild Summer Nights. So it's a little bit too soon for my sports betting self to kick in of what's going to happen. But I would say it's intriguing.
Right.
I think that would be the word I would use.
That's kind of where I'm at with it. It's intriguing, because I mean, with WCW back in the day, they would always say the inmates ran the asylum. I don't see that happening. I guess with Mark Ross, I feel like he's got a little more common sense. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens, man. It's definitely gonna either make the product or break the product, but I think it's gonna make it for the better.
I agree.
Um, is there a future for like going after Zach Thomas for the title?
Yes. Yes.
That rematch, man.
Not just about the rematch. Like I said that Zach is not the champion for Chaos, right? Since I've kind of like really gotten on the bandwagon of Chaos fans and really started to love that place, right? Zach is not one, he's from Ohio, so he shouldn't be champion anyway. But
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah, be careful. You're talking to his biggest fan over here.
Well,
if it wasn't for grimy rules, I'd be champion right now. At the end of the day, I had Zach pinned for a 1, 2, 3, and that stupid 4 count rule is the reason he won. Right? He was able to use it against me, and I couldn't. Right? He had every advantage in a match, kind of like similar to Mark Ross in the Kumite match, right? And I can kind of relate to how hard it was for Mark to be in that, as I was in that against Zach when it came to grimy rules. But when I lose something, I learn from it. So I've learned from this grimy rule situation, and the next time the outcome is going to be different, right? But I will say that the book is not the book's not closed. Like
right.
that's not safe for me. I said it on my show, and I'll say it on this podcast. I don't condone fans touching wrestlers, but damn, did it bring a smile to my face seeing my mom laying forearms into him.
So we were sitting there podcasting during that match, and I I kept seeing this lady get up, and she looked kind of concerned about what was going on, and my our buddy that podcast with us, Danny Diesel, he asked me a question. He said, "Is that his mom?" I said, "I'm not sure. If one could assume, I would assume she is. She looks very concerned." And then I saw her put hands on Zach, and then after the show, we were on our way home. My phone was getting text messages left and right from fans. Was that part of the show? I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see, man.
Who knows? Who knows? It'll be addressed on August 22nd. Let me just say that.
Yeah, it was one hell of a match. It was one hell of a show. Um, you guys always kill it, man, at Chaos, bro. You guys, like I said, I love the storytelling. You guys are fucking awesome with that shit. One of the best wrestling promotions to date, bro, is
Like,
Chaos.
I have a question for you. For anybody wanting to try to get into the business, is there any training programs, schools that you would recommend?
Grind time.
Right time.
Academy. If I'm gonna go to any, if you want to learn how to wrestle, that's gonna be the place. The level of instructing and talent they have there, you're not gonna go wrong. Plus, they are the most professional ran. Like I would say, you've got multiple rings, you have a set amount of classes. I would say that is the place to start.
Their new facility looks so nice. Um, my final question. I like to ask this of people. Uh, is there any wrestlers that you do an imitation of, and will you do it for us?
An imitation of. I got you. Oh, if I had sunglasses, it'd be perfect. But it's because of how he does promos. So let's see if you can do it. You know, I've only been in this business for 2 years, but I am the future. You know, I am what's coming. I am the next man up. I am the edge runner. I am Jack Delaney, and I am here to tell you that I'm gonna beat you on this specific day. It's how he does all his promos. It is
That's
it
fantastic, man.
drives me nuts, man. It drives me nuts. So
Dude,
I would say that
that's
is.
the best one.
That's
That's
the
the
best one
best
so
one
far.
today. Everybody goes for like Hulk Hogan or Macho
I thought you were
Man.
asking independent wrestling. I was like, because I don't really, yeah, I don't really do like impressions of like anybody else. Because like a lot of people do that, but I was like,
That was
usually a
perfect.
wrestler. I was like, oh, who can I do? I was like, ah,
Yeah, that's perfect. It works. I like it.
That's great. Man, Alex Weir, bro, thanks for coming on the House of Grim podcast, bro.
you do.
Ladies and gentlemen, check him out at Chaos Wrestling and XICW. Check him out on Facebook, Instagram. Just follow all these wrestling promotions in Michigan, man. And remember, check them out on YouTube. But you'll be entertained. Yeah.
Yeah.